Attention gamers, ever since mythic items were added to League of Legends there is a repeatable sequence of steps that you follow every game. Commit genocide on the opposing team's hooded midget employees until you've saved up enough to follow the one-dimensional build path of rushing a mythic that 99% of champs follow now. Then you get DP'd by two loud dudes with ponytails thinking your friend was gonna join in but she was vaping, so never mind. Then naturally everyone starts telling each other to kill themselves. Your team eventually forfeits. You've managed to have less fun playing a game than you would have had weeding your yard, and then you immediately queue up to do it all again. And that, my friends, is League of Legends. And seeing other games in the same industry doing things like bringing in celebrities to perform exclusive virtual concerts and adding new things every week to their games. I bet the head at Riot was feeling some pressure to get creative with some fresh new content, so you know what he did? He buffed Blade of the Ruined King by 1%. And us League players, I guess, are so starved for something new that this has totally transformed player behavior, as I'm seeing all kinds of champs break from the make money buy a mythic mauled and chat then quit routine and opt into rushing this item after such a crazy update that's totally on par with other games, I don't know, partnering with f***ing Star Wars. So I figured what better way to get views than to clickbait some trivial update like a true League of Legends YouTuber, and what better way to further demonstrate that the female genitalia is and will remain a foreign concept to me by playing a ranged top laner. Because Pavlov may have trained his dog to walk on two legs and swell up when it feels threatened, but I can just space this man like a bar in the middle of a keyboard all laning phase while stealing mad movement speed from him when I get my first item Bork. But then I figured if my goal was to piss off other people playing League by being a total douche canoe, there are infinite other ways to do that. Bruh. Then I figured I could give it a go on Frozen Legolas against a high noon wind shitter, and apparently shooting arrows up into the sky isn't enough to clear that bullshit 6-foot wall of wind, so I opted into an early vacay up north knowing that George would be curious in this particular piece of shrubbery and I could get gold by murdering the monkey. And if I were to summarize this game in one run-on sentence, I would say, J3's son had repetitive aerial 3-ways with our team's Ellen DeGeneres, but like all windshitters inevitably do, he took a good thing and found a way to choke on his own slobber, leaving his team in a situation where Commander Cucksuck can pole vault over terrain all he wants, but it will neither impress me or prevent me from killing him as I hit a whoosh whoosh 2 arrows to this ape's nose, take a seat dog cause I'm stealing your hose, type of combo. And in the end I figured I would just play this twinkle shit who disrespects the concept of mythic items half the time anyways, and this one was quite the roller coaster, so let's introduce the cast. This Zeri was competing for title of dumbest organism I've interacted with all week, and I've been dog sitting a brain dead basset hound for my neighbor, so first blood goes to Team Foam Finger, and then I heard fat cow step away from the pile of midgets. This gives me a scepter that some call vampiric, so I inform Pixie Tits that I will be playing for trades, but the concept of trading is lost on this booger-haired butt muncher, and once I get wind that she's giving out free poke me samples I walk straight back up for more before hitting the walk away into Q flash smooth as a newborn's left ass cheek combo for the kill. The molding Moo Moo Farms mascot comes back down looking to throw hands or hoofs or whatever the fuck, knowing that Swarovski Crystal Skarner is en route, but this isn't an episode of SNL in 2000, so no one gives a shit about his cowbell, so he tags useless Zeri into the fight. I take one look at Wanda and make a wish for these two morons to still think they can win this fight as I chase, hoping to put them in base, which prompts so many flashes right in front of my eyes I might as well cancel my OnlyFans subscriptions, as one last shift shitter does the trick. My team is taking Dragon, but I'm more concerned with giving their jungler a story to tell his therapist the next time he asks for more Prozac. Then a deal is a deal, so first item Bork has been bought, and there's no better way to test its raw power than to pick a stand still right click off in the middle of the whole Hogwarts daycare center. But that's not exactly saying much, because our short and stout glitter shitter of a support was practically able to 1v1 her, and while I was all for sitting this one out, throwing a few bucks on the pixie and watching Master Yi players take life entirely too serious, so I had no choice other than to have Rift Alexa announce my level of stoppability. And you could leak a picture of Kim Kardashian's bare bleached asshole in the bottom right corner of my screen and I would still never look at my mini-map, so unfortunately I cannot admit that I saw this gank coming, but I can say worth with full copium afterwards. That said, you can tell Bobby the Bull is so over being tethered to the 6 brain cells playing Zeri, because the second Bay Blade boy comes in, he looks at the 2v1 and says nah I'm good, despite our talent being both behind, and just your standard quitting whiner who probably complains that the chicken fingers he ordered at the steakhouse aren't good. But I'm now quite an auto-attack focused Azrael, and if I would have known how much Burst Bork had up its sleeve, I probably would have committed to going full Amber Heard in this one, only to instead wait for my friends to be around so that I could fire a Q into Timbuktu, slap the drunk pirate, and then act like I was the victim there. At this point, me and the sped Jedi are hard at work getting the meat for Tilted Talon's next plate of chicken nuggets when this grass-fed moron comes in with the clearly well thought out plan to stomp his way into the party and take out 3 of us with nothing but a cowbell, but unfortunately there were small details he forgot to account for. Then, because this is silver, meaning we all marinate our meninges in Mountain Dew a little too much, there's a full-blown World War III over blue side wolves, and my initial strategy is just to keep throwing shit at them from a safe distance until coked up Billie Eilish enters, and I'm not gonna lie, didn't see the flash further into danger coming, but I did appreciate her contributions in this one. Our team's hunchback of top lane Flame manages to clean up the large worm infestation we have up north, while their jungler is eager to show ours where dragon spawns. I know Captain Barbosa is taking a piss in the shrubs, so I toss a frisbee in there and then launch a game of Surprise You a Dead Bitch, which almost becomes the first time I've lost one of those, but shout out to the commitment of this little Zelda Wind Waker character and her ults. But if I learned anything from the Goosebumps books I read as a kid, it's that a good story needs some adversity for the main character, and mine was in the form of this cow making his balls gold, which by the transitive property made mine blue, while printing me front row tickets to the Darius show entitled He Spins He Wins He's Utter Bullshit, and now I get to bleed to death. And I know firsthand from being carried like a newborn baby by the Darii species on many occasions that if they get fed in a head, they can just run straight into bad decisions and come out on top, thanks to Riot Games themselves, which had me worrying about the prospect of winning this one. But just like plot development, every good story has a side character whose only use is comic relief, and that was most definitely Zeri in this one. Half our team still wants to prove that they give up during hard times when we have our first run-in with the Giga-fed Darius. Then, because barely 3v1ing while puckering my own ass cheeks just to take him down was so fun, we all opted into chasing 2 side characters down a side lane while he pushed our mid, and because that's just who I am as a player, and the thought of shoving a large spectral banana down a dying pirate's throat just sounded better. Then I pressed on to show the chasing power of the Bork against the bull. And then I was just planning out the 30 things that needed to go perfectly for us to kill this Darius again when Zeri shows up, and I probably should have checked her age a while ago, because this was like the 8th time she practically asked me to fuck her. Whew. At this point it's 40 minutes and I'm fed, and this foam finger was loaded, but unfortunately my brain was not, as I ate a barrel like it was type crackle, and I wanted a southern country theme, and sure enough Talon was the first one to start packing his bags. But you gotta give this glitter tits some credit, she kept these boys distracted long enough to prevent them from accomplishing anything while we were all in dead bitch jail. I decided that selling my boots for my ex-girlfriend's heart and buying an iron pot would be good the next time I claimed a free ass kill on Booger Brains and had to survive through all of Scurvy Steve's orange-eating barrel blasting bullshit, and it worked like a charm. Then it was time to face the final boss once again. And once the king of the spinning castle has fallen, the rest of them kind of had no option other than to back off with their claw hoofs and hands shoved straight up their own assholes, because I could poke, prod and steal movement speed on repeat all day thanks to the power of this game-changing buff that Riot made to Bork, just flipping this game on its head and making players question if it's even League of Legends they are playing anymore. But that's it, the item felt good, but I got fed, so take it with a grain of salt. Rav out.